All right, today we have a Pioneer PL 500, quartz lock, full auto turntable. So he's got a dust bug cleaning arm on it. So got this from the original owner. Pretty dirty. Seems to be in okay condition though. I mean, other than being dirty, it's pretty clean. I'm going to do a function check, see what's going on with this. And sorry, I'm looking for my test record. Oh, well, here's a test record. Johnny Rivers, I think. Yeah, Johnny Rivers. All right, so let's see what's going on with the function of this turntable. I'm going to go ahead and connect it to my stereo, my test stereo. For those that are curious, my test stereo in the garage is a Pioneer SX2500 with the auto tuner. And it's from 1971. The auto tuner actually works. It's got a little bit of a hum that it doesn't bother me because I usually listen to AM radio anyway when I'm not shooting videos. So, all right, so you can see the dust cover is just horrible. It's super, it's just dirt. Ooh, maybe we'll luck out. We won't have to do any major work on the dust cover. That'd be awesome for once. Audio Technica cartridge. Like I'm flying an airplane or something. All the switches and buttons. All right, so let me see what. Oh, this is okay. So manual, start. That's good. I'm curious about the. It doesn't need to be damped, so that's good. Just doing a real quick, before these go out, I do put my scale on them. I don't always capture that in the video, but just for the test, I want to make sure that I'm not hitting this with too much weight. I put this at 1.25. Should be good for this. All right, so let me hit cut. This is quartz lock. It has a speed indicator down here. My dogs are barking because that's what they do. All right, so start. That's good. Dropped it into position. I have good sound both channels. Nice. Speed is just dead on. Quartz lock, you would expect that. 45 locks right on. So that's good. Let's see, cut. I guess you have to hold these buttons down for a little bit. So let's try start again. That didn't return all the way, so we may have to look at that. I have to see what this mechanism is like. Sometimes, probably not on this one, but on a lot of the older Pioneers, there's like a piece of foam. It's like a piece of weather stripping that's on the end of one of the levers that kind of moves the tone arm back and forth, and that foam after 40, 50 years will just disintegrate. So it ends up kind of not going all the way to the tone arm stand. This one may be an issue of dried up lube, or because it's not quite going all the way. So we'll have to take a look at that, but hopefully that's minor. All right, so we know we have basic function. So let's get into taking this apart and looking underneath it, see what's going on. So while I've got it in this position, so I got to figure out how to take the top or the bottom off on this one. I am going to lube the spindle. Make sure not to strip any of these soft metal screws, because they will strip in a heartbeat and then you're in trouble. So pop this off. I may have to remove that arm there. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to remove that. So I will have to figure out how to get this apart. I don't think I've ever worked on a 500 before. I've worked on 518s, 530s. I haven't worked on a 560. I have a 6. What do I have? I've got a 630 that will be coming up soon. But I don't remember ever working on a 500. So what should happen now is this should slide off, and with these, kind of like on a Techniques, it's kind of tricky to pull that off. And I probably have some jumpers or some connectors I want to disconnect. I do, and I can't get my fat finger in there to release the little clip. There we go. Let's see, is it the only one? I think that's the only one. I do have the power cord connected underneath here, so this is probably just going to be flopped over to the side. Let's see. Oh no, I do have, looks like I have another connector right here. And a ground wire connected as well. Right. What else we got here? Looks like oh. Looks like I may have to just leave it like this to remove this little stopper here. There we go. All that just to get to, man, do I have to take that off too? Dang, just when you think it's going to be a little bit on the easier side. I have to turn my fan on here in a minute. It's getting a little toasty in here. Another very, very warm summer day. Get some air moving. Okay, so well, can't be that easy. If it was that easy, it wouldn't be right. There we go. Alrighty. Pull this out. Man, there's a lot of suction there. That's pretty dry. There's a little bit of oil there, but pretty dry. According to the owner, he's never had anything done to this turntable. He bought it new in 1980. Kind of a package deal. We got this and some other equipment, some HPM 60 speakers and the Pioneer SX 3800. Hasn't been powered on in, I think, since the 90s. So we'll just kind of give this a real quick clean. I mean, the inside is very clean. The outside is pretty clean as well. I mean, it's this, all this stuff can hopefully will come off. It's not damaged, I guess, is what I'm getting at. All right, so I got to see if there's a bearing down there at the bottom, so I will shoot a little bit of oil in there. And put some oil in this. I'm not going to go crazy with the oil because just kind of let that do its thing, let gravity suck that down in there. Alright, so this was behind that tab. And, yeah. It was the tricky part, putting this C-clip on without losing it, having it go flying somewhere. Alright, so that looks good. These two pieces back together. And then we'll flip it over and see if we can look at that. The auto return mechanism, see if there's any dried up grease or anything we have to deal with. See why it's stopping a little bit short. Alright. Well, actually, we can't get underneath. We are going to have to. Alright, so this has, if you can see it, this has on this lever here, there's a plastic screw that you can actually turn to adjust, like the pickup point. You got to be really careful if you have to adjust those because they'll break. They'll just snap without any issue at all. I need to look and see. I really don't want to completely disassemble this thing to fix that auto return, but I was like, what is holding that on there? It was, alright, flip that over like so. And gonna have to be really careful here. Oh, it looks like we've got some rotted, oh man, look at that, it just falls apart. So these are like rubber sleeves that go around the springs, and they are completely rotted. Yeah. Pop this up. And what I'm looking for, I just want to see if there is any grease that we may have to deal with. And tone arm wires here, you got to be real careful when you move this stuff around. Looks like there's another screw. And what my goal is not to strip any screws, and I'm just going to flip this up and look underneath. Alright. Oh, I guess the tone arm wires. Oh, the tone arm wires are connected through that. Everything here is dry as a bone. I don't see. Let's see. So that would come back. There is. There's some kind of corrosion on the bottom of this thing. Gonna clean that off of there. Because I think that, I'd have to look at the service manual, I'm not sure what that does. But there is some crap on there, so remove that crap. The nice thing is this was actually pretty easy to pull apart. So if I had to get in here again, it wouldn't be much of an issue. Trying to get my bearings on how this works. That's how it works. It goes the other way. Yeah, so actually in this position, it's going to stop short. So there we go. All right. Okay. Let me see what's going on now. See if that had any impact. You don't want to see my head in the video, but since I moved that, everything is misaligned now. Because I have absolutely no room, no margin with that cord there. Good. Good, and we're good. All right, I'm going to speed through buttoning this back up, and then we'll do a test and see what happens. You know, I'm going to have to look to see if that's the way that's supposed to be. I don't, it wouldn't make sense to me that it's supposed to be like that, but nothing surprises me. And again, I'm not familiar with the PL500. So I'm going to fire this up and just kind of take it through its cycle, make sure it does what it's supposed to do. Run a reject first. Oh, it was set for a 17-inch record. Oops. It's like that didn't drop it in the right spot. All right, cut. Start it over. It's taking a while to go through its cycle. All right, now it's done. Start. Cut. Yeah, I knew I would probably get something misaligned underneath there. But it goes back to the base now. Trade one thing for another. Let's cycle this, see what it does. Now it should shut off. It shut off. Goes all the way. Start. Pick it up. Nothing. So that post that I cleaned off, there was a little kind of hook, and what I did is I moved that post to the inside of the hook, and I think it was probably not supposed to go to the inside of the hook, so let me pop this apart and put that back to where it was and see if that changes. All right, so here's the problem. This needs to be all the way to the right when you drop the lid on, because the selector switch actually moves this into position, right, to let this know where it's supposed to drop the needle. So the tone arm. So I need to have 3 hands and get this aligned correctly. Man, this is difficult. And not have fat hands. Right, so I need to I think I might be able to do it from up top. So if you ever take one of these apart, pay attention where that lever is when you put it back together. Because if you don't, you'll turn it on and it will only work as a manual table. I thought I had filmed me kind of poking and prodding around, but I guess I did not. But before I put this together, I don't want to put it together until I confirm that what I just did actually did something. And I looked, I couldn't figure out if this tone arm is supposed to go all the way back or not. I would assume so, but I'll have to pop open the service manual and see. Heaven forbid I actually use the service manual, right? Alright, so before I screw that little plate in, make sure that my hypothesis is correct. I also want to make sure this is set for 30 on my test record. Power. Cut. Let it go through its cycle. Now it's off. Start. Right to the correct position. Now I've got the tone arm elevator up as I was kind of monkeying around with it. Now I should return to the base and let's see how much closer we got. It still wants to drop it a little bit short, but you know, I'm going to call that good. I'm going to call that good. All right, so I'm going to put this back together, clean it up, clean the dust cover, see if I have to do any buffing on that. So I'll just forward through all that stuff. All right, this one's being cleaned up. Now on to the dust cover. Get this out of the way. Hopefully this is mostly just dirt. And it's not that I don't mind polishing dust covers, it's just it seems lately I've had a lot of turntables and I've been buffing out a lot of dust covers. So it'd be nice to have one that I can just clean up. Man, there's like look at that. There's like just a film of dirt on this. Dog's barking. I mean, the dirt just keeps coming off. I will hit this with some, I'm just going to do the fine scratch remover and kind of see how this looks after I do that. Well, I guess you don't need to watch me cleaning this dust cover, so I'm going to speed through this process here. Yeah, that'll work. That is a lot better than it was. Not perfect, but as I've said in multiple times in other videos about turntable dust covers, you know, I typically don't go too crazy on them. Just get them to where they look presentable. I mean, it's much cleaner than it was. I know it's hard to tell with this stupid towel here, but in fact, let me just throw this on the turntable and you kind of see before and after. Still have to put the platter on this turntable. Platter and the slip mat on here. Close the lid and show you what it looks like now. So quite a bit clearer. Kind of finish wiping this off. All right. So we'll call this one done. This will go off to the shop. Hopefully to a new owner soon. All right, so there we have the Pioneer PL500. If you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.